Hello everybody and welcome to another Private Flight Insight session. My name is Alex Ayling and I'm pleased to say today that we're joined by Alex Brown from British European Aviation. And he is here today to give us a brief insight into the Piper M600 and why BEA, British European Aviation, believe that with its newly awarded AOC, why Piper is the perfect turboprop for the charter market. So without any further ado, I'm pleased to welcome Alex. Alex, thanks for joining us and a very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me, Alex.
No problem at all. And I'm pleased that you're here with us today. Just very briefly, Alex, before we get into the questions, obviously last few months, tier system, now into lockdown. I know you wear several hats. You're not just Piper, but you're also Heliair, you're Wickham Air Park, you're flight training school, and of course, yeah, British European Aviation. How have things been the last few months?
So, I mean, challenging, and every business in the aviation sector has faced challenges. I don't think that they ever have for going on half a century. And I've got to say we're strong. And the biggest affected area of our business is flight training, obviously, because it's very difficult to socially distance. A lot of element of our training business is commercial, so we're able to keep some elements of our business going. But I must say, from an engineering point of view and from a sales point of view, we've had a lot of really strong inquiries, and that business is doing very, very well. And as an airfield, I've been getting a lot of inquiries for new tenants that aren't aviation specific, which means that we can actually spread a lot of this risk, which we hadn't budgeted for. So yeah, considering how badly the aviation sector has been hit, and we're doing pretty well.
Pleased to hear it, Alex, and obviously challenging times for all of us, but good to see that there's focus and determination on your side, and from the sounds of it, doing well. So long may that continue. Obviously, I understand you're here today to talk about the specifically the Piper model or the Piper brand, and how in 2020 you were awarded the single engine turboprop AOC in the United Kingdom. So please, if you can, please explain exactly what this is and what it enables you to do.
Yeah, so I mean, at BA, we're excited to offer customers a unique and cost-effective way of being able to have the pleasure of owning a brand new Piper aircraft whilst offsetting some of the costs involved in owning a larger general aviation aircraft. So in order to do that, we sought to get an SETP AOC, and I'm pleased to say that we were awarded it in March 2020. And to my knowledge, we're the only SETP AOC in the UK to have that awarded to us. We've only been awarded that because of our unique resources at BEA to offer a package that can support owners and provide an extremely high quality service. We have everything that a private owner needs in one company, based at Wickham Air Park and 4 other bases throughout the UK, where we can provide for commercial operations, sales, training and maintenance, hangarage for both aircraft and of course helicopters as well. As you say, I'm also here representing Heliair. Yeah, I think I've covered everything there.
Yeah, I think you have, and congratulations, as I say, for being awarded that last year. It obviously enabled you to now push forward. So, Alex, in your own view, why would you say BEA support Piper over other aircraft brands?
Well, I mean, so ever since we took over AAA Limited, it's been the objective of British European Aviation to duplicate the winning combination of reliable and safe product with excellent customer service and owner care. That was the source of all of our success in Heliair, which is, of course, our original company. And we wanted to replicate this at Booker Aviation when we took on that. So in our opinion, there was only one brand in the world that produced reliable, safe products that were also good value for money in a range that suited our business, and that was Piper. Everything from aircraft training schools all the way through to what we're talking about today, which is luxury commercial turboprop aircraft, are covered by Piper.
And what makes the M600 specifically, what makes that so special?
So specifically, what that makes it so special is it's got all-weather operations. So it's got flight into known icing, weather radar, to the standard where we've had many of the pilots now fly for us were ex-British, ex-commercial airliners, and they have said that it's got the capability way above and beyond what they used to fly, which means that we can do flights in pretty much most weather conditions. It's got a cruising speed of 274 knots. So you're looking at, as an example, to go from London Wickham Air Park to Guernsey is about 40 minutes,
Right.
which is extremely commutable. It's convenient, and particularly if you live in the Channel Islands, it's far better than what's currently there. And at the other end of the range scale, because of its range of about 1,658 nautical miles, we've taken private owners from Wickham Air Park to Faro in the south of Portugal in one flight. And within those flights, because of our operating altitude of 30,000 feet, it means we're above all of the weather once we punch through, and it's smooth, it's relaxing, and it's extremely comfortable. When you combine this with the fact that it's the best in class for operating costs as an aircraft, it's got an extremely high quality of interiors which can be tailored to individual owners' desires. And I must say, that was one of the major things that attracted us to the Piper brand, and the M600 in particular, was how good the interior finish was and how comfortable it felt. And of course, how elegant the aircraft looks externally. It's basically got the whole package, and considering that the value of the aircraft is only 3.1 million US dollars, it's extremely good value for money.
You mentioned earlier that you set out to create the best ownership package possible. So how do you intend to do that?
Well, as I said, I wanted to mirror Heliair. So our design was to create a support network that would enable someone to start their aircraft ownership with Piper, and we would be able to escort them all the way through to the latest turboprops. So that comes from having extremely good after-sales customer care. We wanted to ensure, combine with the care, we wanted to ensure that we'd be able to reduce the cost of ownership through renting owners' aircraft back to us. For training aircraft, we've been doing that for years, and it's a simple thing that we'd be able to do almost immediately, because we have a highly respected flying school, Booker Aviation, on our own airfield. And with the Piper's M600 product, it meant that we identified that there was a major gap in the charter market, which was affordable commercial transport, which is what the M600 slots into.
So does that mean primarily at this stage you're going to be operating, obviously, as you say, you wear several hats, Booker, Wickham Air Park, and having Heliair doing all the operations that it does on a daily basis. Does that mean that you will operate out of your custom FBO at Wickham Air Park?
Yes, yeah, you're exactly right. We'll be basing a lot of our operations here because we have a bespoke facility. But I'm pleased to announce, actually, in this conversation, this is the first public arena that
wow,
we've
exclusive.
Yeah, an exclusive for you. So we're actually opening an FBO at Southampton Airport as of the 1st of April this year. So we've been working some time with Southampton, about over a year. About over a year. And we now have a custom-built facility with direct access to the apron, which means that for any charter flights departing from Southampton to, say, the Channel Islands or to Europe, they'll be able to park their car right next to our FBO and walk practically straight to the aircraft waiting for them. So they'll have no delays, no queues, no waiting for customs. Of course, customs are present, but it means that we can offer the same flexibility at Southampton as we can at Wickham Air Park. And this is the first step in building this strategic network that I was referring to earlier. So that when we quote for a charter flight, if they're remotely near any of these airports, so Wickham or Southampton, there's negligible positioning costs, which makes us an extremely, so I'll start the sentence again. It makes us an extremely competitive charter operator. And we intend to develop this network over the course of 2021. So please do watch out for more announcements as they come.
Brilliant. And like all these things, Alex, you've obviously identified an opportunity there, expanding your network, as you say, with Southampton being an additional location now. But with all opportunities also come challenges. What do you see being the biggest challenge?
I think for us, the biggest challenge, which is shared by all AOC operators for private charter, is educating the market about the dangers of illegal grey charter, as it's known. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that many other aircraft operators and dealers of well-known, well, turboprop and jet brands offer chartered flights, as they say, but they don't hold an AOC, and that poses a risk of prosecution not only to the pilots involved, but also the broker of the aircraft and also the aircraft owner, which a lot of these people don't actually know what risk they're being exposed to. So unfortunately, these companies that do this, they don't have the infrastructure or the processes or the experience to be able to attain an AOC, which means that in a knee-jerk reaction to try and grasp this commercial gap in the market, they don't have the experience, they don't operate to the same quality of standard that we do.
Right. And obviously, what I want to do at this point, Alex, given that you've outlined some of those biggest challenges, obviously we've spoken about the M600. I want to go back to Piper again. Can you talk more about the other Piper models?
Yes, absolutely. So, for example, I work down. We've got the Piper M350. It's the only pressurized high performance single engine piston aircraft, which allows a private owner to fly above the weather with reliable travel solutions. It's a great looking aircraft. It's a similar airframe look to the M600. It's got the same level of bespoke luxury interior. It's got extremely good performance. And we've naturally spoken to a lot of other people that own high performance piston brands, and all of them have their own merits, and every person has different missions which suit different aircraft types. But what they've all said is that because of the pressurization element of the M350, it gives them so much more confidence to go further and further with their flying, take their family places that they've never been before, into Europe, other places in the UK. And I've got to say, for that reason, it is unparalleled in the market. Moving down, we have the Seneca 5. It's a powerful, reliable twin turbocharged piston engine aircraft, great for flying up to 6 people in someone that wishes to have a twin engine aircraft that actually has speaking, flight into known icing. Again, it gives the reliability to know that if ever you were to fly into weather conditions that you weren't predicting, you've got the confidence to be able to get out of them very easily by having 2 engines and also the flights into known icing capability, which is great for private owners and also for training schools. And then rounding off the selection is the Archer. So Piper offer a wide range of versions of the Archer. You have the LX, the DX, you have the DLX, and the DX. So what they mean is the DX and the DLX are the diesel versions of the Archer, which of course diesel technology with piston aircraft is becoming more and more popular, and Piper have captured that version of the market. The difference between a LX and a DLX, or the TX and the LX, is simply that one is designed very much for flying schools and the other for private owners. And of course, Piper now offer the Pilot 100, which is a very stripped back version of the Archer. It's similar to the Piper Cadets that they used to have many years ago, which isn't certified in Europe at the moment, but it will come one day.
So for those pilots that are interested, obviously, to find out more about these Piper models that you represent, obviously, we all know COVID being present in our daily lives still, shows have ceased to exist at the moment. So when they can happen again, obviously, I'm going to talk from a self point of view here. Obviously, we can't wait to host our own private flyer shows at London Wickham Air Park and also in Leeds. But I was going to say, where can pilots see the aircraft on the ramp? Presumably, you're going to be doing a few shows next year. Or this year.
Yes, you're quite right. I mean, very obviously, we're going to have a strong presence at Elite Show London that's hosted at Wickham Air Park. And as with the previous years, that's going to be our sort of flagship show, as it were. Piper as a brand are being represented at Friedrichshafen, of which I will be in attendance. Although that is not my show to organise or my event, I will be there, and there will be the Piper products there. So if anyone from the UK, the Channel Islands of Spain or Portugal, which is our territory. If anyone is at those events, please come and say hello. We're more than happy to take you through the product and show you everything that's there. Something that we're also doing, of course, we've planned this, it's very much COVID dependent, but we're going to be doing a sales tour with the M600 promoting the charter side of our business, which the charter side of our business is going to be called Escape Time Limited. And we're going to be doing a tour with that company over the course of this year, if COVID allows.
Brilliant. And Alex, if anybody wants to find out any more information about obviously Escape Time, obviously more about the M600 and the other Piper models that you obviously represent and carry, where can they go? What website can they search on?
So if you're looking for Piper Sales, and that's our own website, which is beaplc.com. And of course, if you're then looking for not aircraft ownership, but very specifically our charter business, that's escape-time.com.
Wonderful. And obviously we'll put the relevant tags online now, which should be on the screen for your social media. Alex, thank you so much for giving us a brief insight into Piper and obviously your newly awarded AOC. It's been a pleasure talking to you this afternoon.
Pleasure talking with you too, Alex. Thank you very much for having me again.
No worries at all. Take care. Cheers.
Take care. Bye.